Hey guys, what's up? My name is Mohit K. Kashyap from SUC College of Engineering. Today we're gonna learn about OSI reference model and TCP/IP suite model. So, moving on to our next slide. So there are basically 7 layers in the OSI reference model. The first one is physical. Second layer is data link. Third one being is network layer. Fourth one is a transport layer. Fifth one is a session layer. Sixth one is presentation layer. Seventh one is an application layer. So it is really important to memorize all the 7 layers of this OSI reference model. So moving on to our next slide. So in this slide, I'm going to explain you guys about all the layers. The first one is the first layer being is physical layer. So this is the lowest layer of the OSI reference model. It is responsible for the actual physical connection between the devices. The physical layer contains information in the form of bits. It is responsible for transmitting individual bits from one node to the next. When receiving data, this layer will get the signal received and convert it into 0 seconds, zeros and ones, and send them to the data link layer, which will put the frame back together. The second layer is data link layer. The data link layer is responsible for the node-to-node delivery of the message. The main function of this layer is to make sure data transfer is error-free from one node to another over the physical layer. When a packet arrives in a network, when a packet arrives in a network, the main function of the layer is to make sure data transfer is error-free from one node to another node. When a packet arrives in a network, it is the responsibility of the DLL to transmit it to the host using its MAC address. The third one is network layer. The network layer works for the transmission of data from one host to the other, located in different networks. It also takes care of packet routes, that is selection of the shortest path to transmit the packet from number of routes available. The senders and receivers IP addresses are placed in the header by the network layer. And the fourth layer is the transport layer. The transport layer provides services to the application layer and takes services from the network layer. The data in the transport layer is referred to as segments. It is also for the end-to-end delivery of the complete message. The transport layer also provides acknowledgement of successful data and retransmits data if an emission is found. So moving on to our next slide. So the fifth layer is a session layer. This layer is responsible for the establishment of connection, maintenance of sessions, and authentication, and also ensures security. So sixth layer is presentation layer. The presentation layer is also called the translation layer. The data from the application layer is extracted here and manipulated as per the required format to transmit over the network. Now seventh one is application layer. At the very top of the OSI reference model stack of layers, we find the application layer, which is implemented by the network applications. These applications produce the data which has to be transferred over the network. This layer also serves as a window for the application services to access the network and for displaying the received information to the users. So here we finished the various layers of the OSI models. So moving on to our next slide. And here we are going to learn about the TCP or IP suite model. Here the first layer is physical layer. The second layer is data link layer. Third layer is network layer. The fourth layer is transport, and the fifth layer is application. So let's go to our next slide and now learn briefly about these layers. So moving on to the first layer, the physical layer, it is a group of applications requiring network communications. This layer is responsible for generating the data and requesting connections. It acts on behalf of the sender, a network access layer on the behalf of the receiver. During this article, we will be talking on behalf of the receiver. The second layer is data link layer. Physical layer is responsible for carrying individual bits in a frame across the link. Although the physical layer is the lowest level in TCP/IP control, the communication between two devices at the physical layer is still logical communication because there is another hidden layer the transmission media under the physical layer. Two devices are connected by a transmission medium, which is cable or air. The third layer is network layer. The network layer is responsible for creating a connection between the source computer and the destination computer. The communication at the network layer is host to host. The network layer in the internet includes the main protocol, Internet Protocol, which is IP. The, that defines the format of the packet called a datagram at the network layer. The fourth layer is the transport layer. The logical connection at the transport layer is also end-to-end. The transport layer at the source host gets the message from the application layer, encapsulates it in transport layer packet, a segment or a user datagram in different protocols, and sends it through the logical connection to the transport layer at the destination host. The last layer, which is called as the application layer. Application layer at the communication at the application layer is between two processes. To communicate, a process sends a request to the other process and receives the response. Process to process communication is the duty of the application layer. The application also, since the internet includes many predefined protocols, but a user can also create a pair of processes that consists of the two hosts. So, moving on to our next slide. So, thank you guys for watching this. Have a great day. Merry Christmas.